today's episode of The Human Angle. A happy new week to you. Over the years, marriage in a conventional sense has always been considered the union of a man and a woman desirous of living together for love, procreation, and social acceptance. In Nigeria, weddings, as distinct from marriages, have become glorious festivals with people going the extra mile to ensure that their big day is glamorous and fun-filled with plans for fanfare and elegance regardless of financial resources. According to the market research group TNS Global, getting married in Nigeria is worth millions. An average wedding ceremony is between $9,460, which is about 3.5 million naira, and $13,515, which is about 5 million naira, for as many as 500 guests. Some, especially for the upper class weddings, have been known to cost as high as $55,478, which is about 20 million naira, and even higher with as much as $277,399, which is about 100 million naira. With all the glamour and resources put into making weddings memorable, the economics of wedding is significant contribution to the nation's GDP and socio-economic value chain. We have, however, seen changes in the industry in these times due to the global pandemic. Therefore, this week on the program, from the ProShare Wedding Report, we'll be looking at the changing dynamics of weddings with new trends emerging, the Nigerian wedding industry in these times, the financial implications of weddings as it relates to intending couples, and how they can make the wedding event work in a way that is memorable and does not compromise the success of the marriage in the process of undertaking the journey. The marital journey of any couple starts with getting to meet one future partner, building a relationship through courtship, understanding each other's temperaments, meeting the family of the spouse, and most importantly, planning a desirable future together. In virtually all regions of Nigeria, three main types of marriages are considered important. That's the customary marriage, which some also refer to as the traditional marriage. Then we have the Christian marriage, or the Muslim, which is the nikah, and then the court marriage. Specifically today, however, we'll begin by discussing the wedding, marriage, and your finances. So as an intending spouse or couple, it's important to understand that as much as the wedding ceremony is a lovely start to a mutually consented partnership, the event is of less importance than the realities of the marriage journey itself. The wedding provides icing, but the planning of the marriage life cycle shapes the size and the quality of the cake. There's a difference between a wedding and marriage, with a wedding being an event along a journey of marriage which represents the formalization of a unique friendship between a man and a woman, or any other more recent combinations as lifelong partners with the intent of living together and creating a nuclear family. A marriage is more than a wedding, and it's the actual journey. While a wedding is a desirable event, marriage is bumpy, but a hopefully pleasurable journey. In other words, the wedding event is not a marriage but a ceremony to usher you into the institution of marriage. This distinction, though subtle, is very important, as it's necessary to understand the focus and big picture in line with your finances as an intending couple. Oftentimes, intending couples shy away from discussing finances, which is a major enabler and now happens to be one of the major causes of divorce. You need to have conversations about your financial affairs personally and also as a couple, pre and during the marital journey. And it needs to commence from the point of courtship. So if you've not done one, you need to do so now with your spouse. It is easy to get carried away and forget to have discussions about these finances. Have salient discussions revolving around your personal finances with focus areas such as your savings, investments, personal tax, health insurance, your pensions and retirement if you're making contributions, education, your faith and religion, property and real estate, your travel experiences and the future planned tours you would like to embark on, and then your wills and trusts. It is very necessary to have this discussion during courtship before tying the knot. And like I said, if you haven't done so, do so now. It's also at this point that you as an intending couple can adopt tools such as an expense and budget planner, savings and investment applications, and agree on how to manage the financial pressures from family and friends, and in turn plan your wedding effectively. So let me state here that the first step before going ahead, you've agreed as a couple or as people that are in a relationship together to start something. The first step is actually the proposal. And I would like to suggest, so we've seen the COVID-19 pandemic bringing things and the way weddings and then the traditional and church wedding before you move on to the honeymoon and then the marriage itself. But due to the pandemic, we have seen things change. But let me point out first that in planning for your wedding and in putting in retrospect your finances, you need to be wise. The marriage is the journey and not the wedding. So you have to be careful how you spend on the wedding so you are not in debt by the time you get into the marriage. The foundation of how you start your marriage is very important, especially in respect to your finances. So let me suggest that as a guy, if you're intending to get married or you have a spouse and you're pending it due to cost and you haven't proposed yet, I would advise you to take opportunity of the COVID promo. And by the COVID promo, what do I mean? It's you having to do it now, because I know they are scared of, okay, it has to be elaborate. And the truth about it is you're just meeting expectations of other people. But if you're real to yourself, you will tell yourself, what can I afford? And then you do it within your means. So if you're a guy, I advise that you take advantage of the COVID promo. The COVID promo being that you do not have to do anything elaborate now. You do not have to invite a large crowd. You can as well propose now and soonest start planning your wedding during this period. But more importantly, as a couple, what is your financial situation together? What is the plan ahead? The truth about it is people will come for your wedding, they would eat, they will rejoice with you, and in all fact, it's a good thing if you have it to spend. But if you don't have it, you need to go back and think of, is your wedding the marriage? Are you doing it for people or for yourself? So with time, you need to sit down with your spouse if you've not had this discussion and discuss on what is the way forward. How do you want your wedding to be within your means? A lot of people go into weddings with debts. And going into that marriage or your marriage with debt is not the best way to begin it. Sit down with your spouse, plan on how much can we afford. So tomorrow I'll be taking you on the budgeting, how to budget and plan for your wedding within your means. So make sure you join and you don't miss that episode. But today I'll just like you to just think through. What is your means? Sit down with your spouse. What can I afford? What can't I afford? And don't allow people push you into spending more than your means or borrowing for it. I personally don't believe that you should borrow for your wedding, because more importantly is children will come in during the marriage. You will need to spend on them. You want to be saving that money and not spending it right now on food. Don't get me wrong. Celebrating is a good thing. People coming to rejoice with you is a good thing. But when you're doing it beyond your means, then there's an issue with that. So join me tomorrow on the program as I'll be taking you through how you can, in these times even, and I would really like you to just consider these times, because like I said, the COVID promo allows you not to do anything elaborate. But even beyond COVID-19, think through, what can I afford to spend and live within your means? And I'm very sure your marriage would be a successful one. So join me tomorrow on the program. But for today, this brings me to the end of the episode of The Human Angle. You can send in your videos, your pictures, your questions and comments, and even follow us on our social media platforms. Share with us what you think and how you think you can pull through. Send me an email at programs@proshareng.com or business@proshareng.com. Also visit our website to get more information on your personal finance and updates from our news stories and videos. You can also follow us on our social media platforms, showing on the screen for further updates on our market reports. Don't forget to keep the date with us tomorrow as we'll be discussing the 7 shades of wedding and how to fund your wedding without breaking the bank. So till tomorrow, thank you for watching and bye for now.